right, you welcome back to the fun episode. Friday is always the fun episode of AM Ghana for the week, because this is where it all comes down to. This is why I send you off with goodwill messages to go and enjoy your weekend. And to do that, I have one Mr. Joseph Amartey here. You say Amartey, me I say Amartey. So this is how I'm introducing him, and he's going to help me discuss this particular. The place was already heated before we just came in. We wanted to. I mean, we are already discussing things. My heart is going. You see how I love our Greek. Joseph has managed to pull 70% of me into tourism now. Even in my farm in the agric sector, I'm thinking of tourism. How can I use agric in tourism? That's what he's telling me, that tourism covers virtually everything. You can do everything. If you do pencils, you can do pencil thinking about tourism, you know. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're talking about youth in tourism. And he's the ambassador for youth in tourism. Yes, so he's here to help us understand why you need to be watching this program right now, why you need to also focus on tourism. Amartey, good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much.
I like the coat of arms brooch you have there.
Thank you very much.
It tells me you are focused.
Sure. I also like your outfit. It tells me you are a Ghanaian and African.
That's right, a proud one.
Sure.
I wouldn't exchange my Ghanaian heritage roots for anything.
That's fine.
For anything. I love Ghana.
And it is your identity.
It is. So talking about all this identity, I know that tourism also, that's what tourism actually does. The whole focus of tourism is our identity as people. Not to lose what we have, to cherish what we have enough that people want to see it, people want to know it, people want to take a plane from where they are, move from their comfort zone, come all the way to Ghana to come and see me in my beauty, doing everything in my identity as who I am, doing the things that I am, not westernizing myself, but in my element as a Ghanaian. Now, when we say we bring in the youth into tourism, what's all that about? What is your focus?
Thank you very much, my dear. Let me take this opportunity to do the needful.
Okay, sure.
by saying a very good morning to the Sector Minister for Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Honorable Mohammed Adoa, who is doing so well. Also, Mr. Akwesi Ajimai, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Tourism Authority, Madam Bella Ahun, the President of the Ghana Tourism Federation, and the last one goes to the Vice Chancellor of University of Education, Winneba. The last go to all the executive members of Tourism Society of Ghana and all the teachers who are making sure that we really promote domestic tourism from the grassroots within the schools across the country. I say a very good morning, and I ask for permission to talk now.
I'm sure they've granted you that permission.
Sure.
So let's talk about the youth. Why your focus? Why are you standing up and saying I'm the ambassador for youth in tourism? Why?
Well, to answer that question, why I have come out as a youth tourism ambassador, and okay, let me answer that quickly. I didn't come up to say I'm the youth tourism ambassador. I was appointed by the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture and the Ghana Tourism Authority to be the youth tourism ambassador for Ghana. Okay. And that was done in the year 2017 up to date. Now the question is that what did they see in you, or what there are other youth out there who could equally be the youth ambassador, but why you? Now it was me because I was leading an organization, which of course is the reason why today I'm seated here. That is Tourism Society of Ghana. And Tourism Society of Ghana focus is promoting domestic tourism from the grassroots. So we are really dealing with the youth. The question is that when any other person wants to come to the business or the tourism space, their focus is on international tourism, tourism. But Tourism Society of Ghana came out, and there was a clear cut that they are focusing on domestic tourism. That is why our slogan has been Gateway to Domestic Tourism. Now, if we are saying that the focus or the domestic tourism, where do we start from? We need to come down to the young ones, because there's a saying that an already mature tree, there's no way you can direct its direction. But from the younger state, you can tell how it should go. And of course, if you even have a child and you don't train the child how he or she should live, and she grow up, forget about changing the way he or she thinks. So we came down that we are going to really focus on the young ones from the basic schools, senior high schools, and to the university. On that note, we engaged the Ghana Education Service Director General. We told them of our intention. As I'm speaking to you now, this thing started way back 2006.
Wow.
We engaged the Ghana Education Service. They said, wow, this is a good thing. So they gave the Tourism Society of Ghana the audacity, the authority, the permission to operate within their schools. And as I speak to you now, Tourism Society of Ghana can boast of over 50,000 membership nationwide who are now following domestic tourism. And today, a Ghanaian child can tell you what tourism is all about, can be proud to eat the Ghanaian local food, can be proud to put on Ghanaian, cloth, can be proud and of course say that, mommy, I want to travel to attraction site ABCD. So I have the youth tourism ambassador based on the good work that the Tourism Society of Ghana has done, and not me, but the team.
Okay. I like that. All right. So, what are some of the things that the Tourism Society of Ghana you have done? I don't know how long have you been?
I said since 2006 we have been in operation.
2006. 2006.
2006.
Okay.
Yeah, 2006.
All right.
And like I said, the Tourism Society of Ghana has 3 chapters. We have the basic and senior high school chapter. That one, basically, we are working with the Ghana Education Service. We are into formation of tourism clubs within schools across the country. We have it in basic schools, senior high schools.
Yeah.
And then also, so what we do is every time we ask, what do you do? That is part of the extra curriculum activities. We engage our club members to train them or give this information that I'm giving. All the topics that we treat with them are attraction sites in Ghana, know your culture, know who you are, the kind of food we eat, our festivals, all these things. During the club meeting, we discuss with them. And then as part of our activities that we do, we also encourage them to travel, because there's a saying that when you teach a child and he or she sees what he's been taught, it sticks in the mind more than just probably hasn't seen the person. The person only lives
their senses.
Exactly. Otherwise, the child may live on just imaginations. They say this is mobile phone. So how does it look like? You know, but we make sure that they really get access to whatever we have treated with them in the classroom. And then we have the tertiary chapter. The tertiary chapter, basically, we focus on schools that are doing tourism-related courses. Like you go to the universities, KNUST, they are doing culture and tourism. You go to the Ghana, let's say Accra Technical University, they are doing hospitality. You go to Cape Coast Technical University, they are also doing tourism there. So these are the people we encourage to have an association.
Yeah,
so
we private universities as well.
Yeah, we have the private universities as well. So they are the tertiary chapter. And then we come to the public chapter. So these are the 3 chapters of which we operate. The public chapter, we said no. If we also have it bridging the gap between academia and industry, what do? We shouldn't leave the informal sector out. We have to bring them on board, because statistics really prove to us that those within the informal sector are even contributing more to Ghana's GDP through tourism than those who have been educated. Sorry to use that word, but I'm saying, and it is on the fact that those at the informal sector are really contributing to our GDP. Typical example is the watches seller out there. The cocoa seller out there, the fashion designer out there, the barber who's a creative art out there, the musician who also fall under tourism, also there, the visual artist out there. You see, these are the people who are making tourism happen. And we're talking about domestic tourism.
Let me add to that, because when you said that, it drew my mind to it. I don't think I've been. I mean, I may have seen them, I know them, but then consciously I've not really thought about what they do as contributing to tourism. I'm thinking of, we used to be in a place where part of the house was dedicated to these tourists. They come and then they stay there. So yes, we've seen some. I remember a particular one who came, and the first time he tasted fufu with palm nut soup. That was the only food he ate consistently throughout every day. So he wakes up in the morning and says, "Is the fufu ready?" And if you tell him, "As for today, no fufu," he will not agree. He will go and buy the cassava himself. He will eat. And we asked him, so when he was going out, we asked him, "How are you going to eat fufu and palm nut soup?" He says, "I don't know, but that's why I'm eating it all here in Ghana before I go." And he was an American, pure American, nothing about. But they tasted it, and it was done. He ate it first in a chop bar. So I understand what you mean by these people are promoting. Now look at, you go to DHL, you go to these places where we send things out. You see a lot of people sending out our African wear sewn here. Somebody out there has requested for it. We saw it. So they are even exporting our culture. And these are the seamstresses by the streets, those you do not value. So I understand you 100% when you say that.
My dear, you know, this reminds me, by God's grace, I've had opportunity to travel to some few countries across the globe. And anytime you travel, first 2-3 days, sometimes you even grow lean because you miss your local food. You miss your banku and okra stew. You miss your fufu. You miss your TZ and other food you could mention. Now, ask yourself, as an African, what advantage do we have over other countries?
A very beautiful question.
I'm telling you, as an African, or Africa as a continent, what advantage do we have over other continents? And what is the reason why many people are traveling to Africa? I want to make my discussion macro, but I'll come to micro on Ghana only. But I'm talking as an African.
Yeah.
Ask yourself this question. You made mention of agric, the agro-tourism. Recently, we have launched a project. The State of Ghana has launched a project on that. We want to promote tourism through agric. Because let me tell you, they are all part of us. The restaurant out there can never sell the pack of rice can never be complete without carrots, without cabbage, without a lettuce. So you can imagine the role the farmer is playing already in promotion of domestic tourism here in Ghana. So let me go back to my public chapter. So like I was saying, those within the informal sector, they are contributing more. My dear, we had the research from the secondary schools, and we realized that the students out there who are doing tourism-related courses like visual art, home economics, they even undermine themselves. They put less priorities on the course they are doing. You go to the secondary schools and you want to get people contesting for SRC, and they say science students, business students, general art students. And then the home economics students are just going back. The visual art students are just going back. And you go there, they see them to be minority or less priority, which is so bad. And the question is, one, it starts from we the parents from home. Two, the children in question, we the parents in a sense that we feel that Adoa Mansa didn't perform well from the basic school, so therefore he or she should go and do visual art, home economics, or any technical related course. It is wrong. Well-developed countries follow these sort of practical things to grow their country. Like I said earlier, the informal sector within the tourism are producing or contributing more to our GDP. The question is that why don't you give them some sort of attention now? Why don't you create that sort of awareness for them to know that, see, you are playing a very vital role. And when this is done, the word unemployment, the word the system is hard, the word all sort of things will really cut down. So I always challenge the government that we should do more of what we call tourism education. And tourism education is not necessarily going to the classroom or going to the uni to teach the student out there. We can go to the market, get those involved, give them some sort of education. We can organize refresher courses for the people. Let them understand so that they can place premium of value on what they are doing. What will be so beautiful that one day the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture is organizing a one-day refresher course for fashion designers, certificate program. We are doing that for those within the hotel sector. See, people even come out of school and they say, okay, because I don't have job now, let me just go and do some waiter or waitress for some time. When I get a well-paid job, then I'll leave. Hey, when you travel to other countries, being a waiter or waitress, it's a profession on its own. People grow on that line and they get to the highest I mean, whatever they need to get. So our operations here, like I said, which cut across the three sectors. The public chapter now, we have given more attention to the public chapter. So when we go to communities, we have them there. They meet once every month. We have one branch at Adenta, we have it in Kumasi, we have it Teshin, Ashama, Lashibi. We have these community branches there that they meet. So instead of they just meeting as a normal youth group, this is tourism group. So when they meet, they discuss their other social activities, and then we also discuss tourism related activities. We group them, know what they do as programs. Fashion designers, you are here, so we get people who meet them, because customer service, as I always say, it's very, very necessary. Let me take this opportunity to applaud one gentleman, Mr. Caleb Kofi, who is championing customer service here in Ghana. And I feel that is a good cause, and we, the Tourism Society of Ghana, are fully behind what he is doing to make sure that people really get this customer service. It is one thing that is eating the informal sector up the more. You go to a fashion designer, okay, I want to get my dress for a wedding. So then within 3 days you get it. My dear, when you start calling these people, somebody asked me, Mr. Amartey, who does your fashion for you? For over 2 years now, it is MS Fashion who sponsor my outfit. I'll call this guy in the morning. I need my dress in the evening. By the close of day, it is set. He's a Nigerian. And I want to challenge my fellow Ghanaians. This man is a Nigerian. I introduce him to anybody. So I need your dress. I say, see this man. And this man delivers on time. Why can't we do same here? Attitude.
Exactly.
It's attitude. Attitude. So now, that is what we have taken upon ourselves to make sure that we do, and we are doing. Now, the just ended Youth in Tourism Festival that we celebrated. Now, one of the things we wanted to do, bridging the gap between academia and industry. On that note, we partnered University of Education, Winneba. Mind dear, trust me. During the opening ceremony of the Youth in Tourism Festival within the University of Education campus, we had over 1,000 people who were in attendance. Youth wing. And it was so interesting to see that we have brought those fashion designers, the artists, and what have you, everybody together, including the academia. They are together. But this is one of the way we feel we can bridge that gap. And the thing we chose for the just ended Youth in Tourism Festival was youth, tourism, and sanitation. We'll go there. Next year, 2023, the thing we are choosing is youth, tourism, and entrepreneurship. Because we feel many people need this kind of thing there. So I feel when we talk of youth in tourism in Ghana, these are some of the things we really need to focus on, and we need to do more of this tourism education. And then also we need to, if we can grow better, I think most of the corporate institutions must understand this very need. Like I was happy when you talk about, even if you are even producing pen, you are linked to tourism. Anything I thought that you do, you are really part of what? Tourism. So of course,
it's about our mind, the mindset. With that said, still the public chapter, I'm thinking, because we've mentioned the fashion designer, we've mentioned the one selling food, and I think that people have seen how they relate. But when it comes to, maybe I think in the market woman on the street, I don't know how you can exclude yourself as a market woman on the streets of Makola from tourism, because I think that even most of them will testify that they even see most of these tourists than some of the tourist sites.
Yes.
They don't say I'm going to a tourist site, the market. They just say I'm going to the market, but you are the ones who deal with them. So that's what we're saying. So think about ways that you can, standardize, bring your things, how to present your things in a way that markets you out more. What would attract the tourists on the street to come and see you in particular, where you are. And I think that you guys are doing so well. Tourism Society of Ghana. What I've heard, the only thing that is saddening me right now is the fact that 2006, by then I was already out of the basic school, so basic and senior high. And so looking at what you brought, because by then I was doing extra curricular, but I was in one of the other. It wasn't there. If it was there, then you were traveling. I would have taken it out. So yes, this is going out to parents who are listening to us as well. find out the extracurricular clubs in the school that your child is in, and get them, especially if you see they show signs, you know, they have arts, a bed, they have this, they like to travel, they, even if not for anything, just to get them to have the right mindset, get them into tourism. It doesn't necessarily mean they'll go and sell something by the roadside, but so that wherever they find themselves, they'll be able to use it. They don't think about just selling, you know, in their domain, but going outside, attracting the international market out there. That's what I am seeing. I don't know what you are seeing.
You are right. Anytime I travel out of the country, I sell most of these beads I travel with. Them. Yes, I sell them. And so when they ask me, oh, Joseph, it's beautiful. Yeah, I did it. You know, I did it. So you can imagine that. Yeah. You see, but somebody who's just producing, a beats, who's into beats, like so beautiful. Yeah. People really don't see that as business, but it's about packaging.
Yes, and how this was brought to me, I was even so surprised. That was the first time I had seen beads packaged. The whole, you know, had a paper bag with a designed paper bag with her logo and everything on it, and it was brought to me in the office. I was very surprised.
Recently, we as an organization, we came out with a fundraising. We say we just soliciting for 5 cities from every Ghanaian, and every Ghanaian watching us out there is still on course. We are soliciting 5 cities just to do tourism education, just to push that to Tourism Society of Ghana to come to your community to help that innocent child there, because there are a lot of youth out there who have the talent. But they need to get the right people to get the support. Like I'm saying, the industry is so big, and we have the huge numbers. And of course, we can really make, oh wow, this is interesting. I'm saying something on your set.
All right.
Oh. You know, we went to Big Tree. Big Tree is one of the attraction sites that if we are able to promote it very well, it's going to fetch so much.
On my way to
the biggest tree in West Africa, or one of the biggest tree in West Africa. It is so interesting. We were there as part of the Youth in Tourism Festival, and come and see the excitement. Everybody wants to be there, and of course, look at it. We organized this just about 3 weeks ago. We always make sure we are on the move, going to different attraction sites to make sure we sell Ghana. So this part of the domestic tourism I talk about, people during their holidays, they travel to Dubai, they travel to USA, they travel to other countries to spend their money. Why can't you spend the money here? So that at least the economy will also grow.
The place is looking better than when I went.
Oh, it is better because the Ministry of Tourism Arts and Culture currently has put in some funding, and of course it has been renovated. When you get there today, the reception alone, it's so interesting. You can have a wedding, you can have whatever. It's so beautiful. It is true. You were there years ago or decades ago. Now when you go there, it is so beautiful.
And it took about how many? About 17 of us to go around there. You know, we had our
hands. Yes, it's really a big tree. It's really a big tree. Oh, I'm sorry. These are some students of University of Winneba Secondary School. In fact, Winneba, this year we did what we call Youth in Tourism Awards. We honored youth who are doing so well, because the people, we need to appreciate the people so at least they can do more. So University of Winneba Secondary School was the domestic tourism promoter of the year 2021. That is the secondary chapter. But when you go to that school, they have a lot there. So we feel these people, we need to encourage them to do more.
There's all this.
Oh yes, they have all these days. But we do. Now what we are doing is that we have partnered with some transport institution. Every month we're going to have a tour at the Art Center, Center for National Culture. Every month, last Saturday in the month. So you just join, just pay something small, no coffee, the guns will say. So at least you join, then we go to an attraction site. So the numbers that you can call, let me just take this opportunity to put the numbers out there. So maybe you want to join, your school want to be part of the club, you want to have the club within your school or your community, you want to join. Anyway, this is a Vice Dean of the University of Education. He was so excited during the university. And then we also have the Director of Education, the Futu Municipal. This woman was really, really passionate about domestic tourism, and she even wished she is even within the tourism sector. And I said, don't. That is why we, as the Tourism Society of Ghana, that's the Director of Education, William by Futu, and that's the best teacher, the one standing beside, and that's the PR. So the one in the middle is the best teacher 2021. He was the best teacher of the whole country 2021. awarded by the Ghana Education Service and the Ministry of Education.
Still on the public chapter, that also means that this
is a beach art festival we had. And it was so, beach art festival.
Okay.
Beach art. It was so interesting. We had this beach art festival as part of the Youth in Tourism Festival just ended, and it was so wonderful.
What does that entail? Using because we see that sometimes using the sand to make certain.
The art festival. We're talking about promoting our local. This is our local dance, Amartey, and all those stuff. They want to promote this, and so we made it strategically part of the festival.
Hey,
so we had this.
How it's dying off. Amartey, the
Ludu, and all the visual artists. They were all there. So that's the swimming pool at the McJoy Royal Beach, Winneba. So in fact, the festival was a fun. It's a whole week festival. It was a whole week festival, And okay. So that's the beach art festival. The attendance was so huge. So we feel that if students or young ones like this understand tourism already, you can imagine 5 years to come how the industry is going to look at. They understand why they have to take off their, that's myself in my YouTube first. You see, they will understand how you have to travel, to visit your destination, eat your local food, wear your African clothing. Over 10 years to 20 years now, I don't wear suit. I don't see the reason why I have to put on suit. I don't really see that. It's not my culture. And when people used to laugh at me, that Amartey, you anywhere we go, you want banku and okra stew. I say, yes, I love it. And call me keke now. I love it so much. And one thing that also saddened me most, and I'll use this medium to tell the general public, it's about the churches today.
That's what I'm going to delve into.
Today, look at, Ghana are celebrating their Homowo Festival. And trust me, I'm a Presbyterian. Most of the churches by this time where they go, they have sent the children on camp meeting. Strategically organized for them not to see the festival because the festival, quote and unquote, has been tagged as fetished, which is wrong. The festival is also one of our identities that you cannot do without. When you go to every region, they have their festival, and we have rationale behind the celebration of that festivity. So why do we deny the children of knowing their identity?
Exactly.
If you think as a Christian, as a man of God, that this festival is not good, what are you bringing on board to do that change?
Exactly.
There should be change. Technology. When we started using mobile phone, it wasn't this smartphone that today that we are having. We're using YAM. Before, people were not even having phones. But look at how we have migrated to. Today we are using smartphone. Today there's something we call Bluetooth. So if you think that festival, that Homowo Festival, that you are saying there's something wrong, what have you done about it? Have you gotten closer to the International Council? And you, the person, I always say that you belong to a family. So therefore, don't shun your family for the fact that you have climbed up, for the fact that you have seen God. It's not the same God who gave man wisdom to put these things together. So sometimes it saddens my heart. But we are trying to fight this agenda until everybody understands that Ghana is what we have. Our identity is what makes us as an African. And of course, our toil will never be in vain. We shall educate, and the tourism education we shall do until the world come to an end. I will do my part. Tomorrow, the generation yet to come also, when they come, they will do their part.
Okay, let's talk about Leader in Christ seminar on tourism and culture. Since you're already on that path.
Thank you very much. We call it Leadership in Christ seminar. Leadership in Christ seminar. Now, we realize that, like I just made mention of, we have found a way to make the leaders in Christ in the churches understand that festivity or other things are not fetished. As I speak to you now, I'm a traditional authority. I put beads on my ankle. I put also 1 year. That tells that I'm a royal person. Of course. Now, when you go to churches, sometimes someone goes to church with those beads and some of the dresses. They feel, as a Christian, why must you put all this? Some even feel that if you are a Christian, you only have to wear suits to church. You shouldn't even wear African print, which is wrong. Sometimes people I ask the question that we as Christians, we even have to be traveling more to the tourist attraction sites than the worldly people. But today, when we have any holiday or any occasion, it is the worldly people, quote and unquote, I'm saying, is the public who do organize tourism, I mean tour to the attraction site. But I feel when it is any occasion, it should be the Christians. Why am I saying the Christians? The Christians is in the sense that They have majority of the people. 1. 2. All these attraction sites that we visit, whether natural attraction sites or man-made attraction site, it's from the same God.
Exactly.
Now, typical example, you go to Will Waterfalls. When you get there, the more the people, the higher the pressure of that water. It is so amazing. And when even foreigners come in, it becomes worse. What people used to say is that that site is controlled by ghosts. I mean, bosom. They say that the more the people, then the bosom is so happy and say, no, you are lying. It is God. Why God? Now, Christians sing a song that I love so much. They say, when I look at the mountains, I look at the valleys, I look at the sea, oh my Lord, you are God. Mountains, valleys, the sea, who created them?
Part of it.
When you look at them, you see that He is God. But then when we travel to the same Christians, travel to attraction site and they return, and then they attribute those good things to gods. So you can imagine, we Christians, where are we today?
Exactly.
So that is why we take advantage to do the Christians Leadership in Christ seminar on tourism and culture, to educate the people to understand being into this culture space, being into this tourism space, it is not what fetished. We also use that opportunity to encourage them to organize more of the tourism related program for their churches, if not at all, every monthly. And that, as you are traveling, as you are patronizing our local made stuff, we are leaving money in the pocket of our families, and we are also selling our country out there.
Okay. All right. So still speaking about the Christian, other religions in culture, I always say, like, I have this on my hand. I believe that's what I say. If you think by your Christian virtue, you've been able to identify something as demonic, then obviously you should be able to. A Christian should know that the thing is not the spirit. There's a spirit that we call the demon, and he inhabits. So if you don't want him to inhabit, what you do, you pray for it to go and then use the thing. So cast whatever demon it is out and then continue to use it. It shouldn't change your identity. And the demon that you may find in the African prince, who told you that he cannot go and wear a suit? Who says he's afraid of the suit?
Today, the 419 people wear suit more.
So I beg you. It's about time we step away from all these things.
And let me take this opportunity on this Christians or your seminar, about the Christianity, to also salute and applaud Christ Apostolic Church.
Okay.
Guess what? As part of what we are doing as Tourist Society of Ghana, few years back, we signed an MOU with Ghana Police Service, that's DOFSO, to protect the younger ones we are training today as a part of the 1,000 class. So you know what we do? We take the Ghana Police Service to the classrooms to educate the young ones on perpetrators.
Okay.
Because sometimes when we call in the child, oh, that's my wife, how to identify them. So as part of what we are doing, we have signed an MOU with Ghana Police Service, the domestic violence, we call it child-related offenses and domestic violence, to take them there, to make sure they educate the children to be aware of those perpetrators. And of course, when we launch this project, Christ Apostolic Church, the entire church, and I say thank you once again to the church leadership. They gave Tourism Society of Ghana a cash to support a worthy cause.
Nice.
And they are ready to do more. We are challenging every church that this is what we are doing. We need your support. Let's change the way the younger ones think. Because if we don't really take the opportunity we have today to educate them, tomorrow we wouldn't have any Ghana to celebrate or to
now, let's talk about what to expect from the Tourism Society of Ghana next year in terms of your festivals, etc. Youth in tourism festival, an award.
That's fine. That's fine. Thanks so much. I think I always say a big congratulations to all the coordinators within the schools. These are people who have gone to the training colleges to be trained as teachers, but we have given them additional work to become coordinators, become ambassadors of the domestic tourism promotion within the schools. Because we feel that if we engage one teacher and one teacher engages 50 students, we have engaged the whole nation. Because once the information descends down to the children, they go home and tell, Mommy, if you drink water, don't put it here, put it in the dustbin. Mommy, every month we have to travel to a tourist attraction site. We have to eat banku, we have to eat TZ too, in that order. So on that note, we have started domestic tourism workshop within the municipalities. We are done with Futu Municipal Assembly. We met over 200 teachers who are trained teachers. And we organized this workshop for them last month or last 2 months. We did it for them. We so sponsored this very workshop for them. And today, as I speak to you now, if you go to any school, they have the clubs there. So our next, we are going to Jumuru in in Zima area, and then we have Agoti Mekoto, the Northern, but they are all calling. The work is so huge. So what we expect from us is now we are doing domestic tourism workshop for teachers within the country. So we are engaging district by district, meeting the teachers to educate them so that they can handle the club for us. Since we cannot engage the children directly, it's the teachers we need to sensitize or organize for them to get the information. So the next thing also we are doing is that as part of our domestic tourism promotion again, next year, we have come out with our Youth in Tourism Festival 2023. And I said the theme this time is Youth, Tourism and Entrepreneurship. We'll be launching that one November against 2023. And then also, we also have the domestic violence project, which is still ongoing. We need partners out there to come support this thing we are doing. We really need partners to do that. We have launched that project. It is ongoing, so that at least we can still educate more of these young ones. We also have the Youth in Tourism Summit, and then the business incubation. That is where we bring the people within the public chapter who are doing tourism. We engage them, we see what they do and how we can support them. Some we need to even make sure we get sort of sponsorship for them to empower them, do what they are doing the more. The last but not the least, what the public should expect is that this year's Youth in Tourism Awards wasn't all that competitive. Next year is going to be more competitive, and then we're going to make sure the awards is just to celebrate the young out there who are doing something tourism, like a visual artist, a young boy who is good into visual artists, the fashion designer, a young caterer, I mean a young taxi driver who is promoting domestic tourism. And this time we are going to down to identify even the mates, the trot mates. I always say that these people also, we need to create a self-awareness, because if you travel from one place to another, you become a tourist. And the first person you meet is these transport people, the taxi driver, the trot, and what have you. So we are still targeting to work with the GPTRU, so that at least we can also educate the youth, encourage them to join our tourism clubs within the community. So these are the tasks or the programs ahead of us. It is huge though, but with God in our boat, because one of the quotations of Ghana we don't joke with is Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all other things shall be added to it. So we believe that with God in our boat, we shall get there.
What are some of the challenges you face as a youth in tourism ambassador?
As a person or as an organization? I face a lot of challenges. You know, sometimes when you are trying to make a change, it's not easy to make a change. It's not easy to make a change. So now the challenge is to say, when I was appointed, I am supposed to engage the Ghana Tourism Authority to come up with projects for them to finance or to support. That hasn't been that much. I mean, it hasn't been fruitful to see, because not too long COVID came in, so a whole lot of stuff. I mean, so like I said, we are facing financial challenges. We also need more support, collaborators or partners to do that. And like I said, as a youth tourism ambassador, sometimes you need to travel more to communities, engage the people. People feel like they need to even engage us, but they have been left out. I am appealing to the public that at least if we can get support from any quarters at all to make sure we champion this, because sometimes when people at the rural areas just want to engage me as a youth tourism ambassador, but like I said, traveling there alone, you need fuel to do that. You need a whole lot of things to go. And when you go, you also have to empower them in your own small way. So we're still appealing to the general public, the government, because I am, my office as a youth tourism ambassador, I'm partnering the Tourism Society of Ghana to do more of tourism education, the tourism education. And I feel Accra is not Ghana, and Ghana is not Accra only. We need to travel out of
even in
Accra.
Accra, there are people who don't know Accra very well.
So
there are places we've not been to in Accra. So yes, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Education right there. But talking about some of, I mean, you mentioned the church, the issues with the church as one of the challenges perhaps you face, the whole tourism sector faces. Then maybe one of just one of them. What are the other challenges that as a whole sector you face besides the church and what we do to our culture?
The sector as tourism sector.
Exactly.
That we face. You know, I cannot really point out the challenge directly because the tourism sector is being controlled by the mother body, which is the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. It also has different agencies that operate under the Ministry of Tourism, like the Ghana Tourism Authority. They have their operations. I mean, they are regulators. You come to National Theatre, which is also an agency. You go to the National Folklore. You go to National Commission on Culture, National Theatre, and all these are agencies. So they may have their individual challenges. So you cannot really look at it as a one challenge. But the challenge that I can say is that we still need to do more of tourism education. I see that to be a challenge. And of course, we are in there and we need more partnership to make sure that tourism education goes out there to that person within the corner.
All right. So how, as the Tourism Society, because you have elaborated how to bring tourism education to the basic and senior high school, making it a curricular activity for them. You talked about the tertiary chapter as well, how you engage them. We've even seen some pictures. But when it comes to the public chapter, I don't know if it's been feasible yet, how to engage. You talked about perhaps having workshops. I don't know if that one is in the future, or if there are actual things you've done, perhaps to those market women, to the watch seller on the street. What are some of the things that you have done with them that is encouraging, or that, you know, shifts them from where they are right now, talking about building a correct mindset, to that place where they can say that, yes, I have gained something and I can contribute in the tourism sector?
Okay, I think we cannot go direct to the market to engage them when they are doing business, but we only we serve as we only evangelize. Here is the word evangelism. We talk to them to become part of the tourism club. So the Sundays that they don't go to market, they come for club meetings. That is where the education.
We
have clubs.
Okay.
We have. That's where I mentioned earlier. We go to Adenta. We have a branch there. We go to Kumasi. Go to Ashama. We go to Peshin. I mean, Winneba. We have branches within communities. So like you are here, if you identify that, okay, now I have a community, maybe your village. Can we have a group there to just be Tourism Society of Ghana club? Yes, why not? We give you that permit. We give you that license to open that tourism club within the community. And we make sure that we organize resource persons for you as when you are having club meetings. We also organize orientations for the leadership, the executives within those communities. So when they meet, they discuss some of these things. We also make sure that recently what we are trying to do is that because they are into business, so we're getting partners from the banks, the insurance companies, so that at least we can see what the individual is doing, and then we give them that sort of support that they need. So like I'm saying, we just talk to the people first to understand, to join the association. So during your club meetings, we can have that discussion or that education. Okay,
you were speaking earlier about the last Saturdays in the month?
Yes, the last Saturday.
So then you said you were going to put your number.
A number out there. Oh, you have a good memory.
Thank you.
Wow. So you are Ghanaian, that's why.
Yes,
Ghanaians have good memory because of what we eat.
Because of the banku.
Yes, we come out with a monthly tour every Saturday in the month. We're going to make a bus available at the Center for National Culture Arts Center. So any interested person, you call the number and then you book in advance. And the number is 055 84 50 509. 055 84 50 509. You call this number, you book in advance, or you can visit our social media pages, Tourism Society of Ghana, or visit our website, TOSOGHA TOSOGHA.com. Yes, TOSOGHA.com or the Tourism Society of Ghana.com. Any of these websites, when you visit, you can see our information there, and then you get access to us. And then also, like I'm saying, we are still doing the tourism education, and your support is needed. We need your support to do more of tourism education. We need to go to the school out there, that school behind your building. We need to be there to educate them. We don't want any child to be left out, and we can only succeed if you give us that support as an individual, as a corporate institution, so that together we can do more youth in tourism.
Okay, all right, so that together we can do more youth in tourism. And that's how we wrap up for the tourism aspect or segment for this morning. And all our thanks, yes, we thank him so much, Mr. Joseph Amartey. Thank you. He's the Youth in Tourism Ambassador.
The name is Amartey. We have Ama. This Joseph Amartey.
All right, Amartey. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
You enjoy the rest of your day. And for you, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
From the dew of heaven